Hay muchas personas que saben de mercadeo y ventas. Hay muchas personas que saben de negocios digitales, pero amo de Scott que cuida que lo hagas dentro de tus valores, con el estilo de vida que quieras, en balance, en armonía. Si no lo haces así, y como él dice de alignment, como que estés súper alineado, si no lo haces así, ¿para qué lo vas a hacer? Porque no vas a ser feliz.
And I believe that if you're here, it's perfect timing. It's perfect timing to be able to take that startup and go into the next level. If you're building a business, being able to actually build it in a conscious way, maybe even the right way, not just for you, but also for your customer, for your business, being able to create synergy between where you are today and where you want to be, and being able to connect the vision. But I'm wanting to be able to ensure that you're able to use the perfect timing, that we're able to build profitability into your business, we're able to build ease into your business, as well as being able to be in this place of flow, being able to go downstream. Instead of going uphill, we can go downstream. And so hustle is oriented towards entrepreneurship all the time, putting in the 16 hours of work and going and going and going. And what I want to help you do, what both Tatiana and myself, what we want to help you do is to make it so that you're spending time doing the right things, that you're able to actually know what it is that you need to be doing, to have clarity and focus, because most entrepreneurs work 16 hours doing what they really don't need to do, and they could have done it in 6 and instead spent time with themselves, time with their family, time doing the things that they love. Of being able to mentor so many entrepreneurs past 6, 7, 8 figures. There's a few frameworks that really work, and today I'm going to go through 4 of them. And so I got a lot for you here, and so I'm going to go high level for the most part over these 4. But with these 4 frameworks, your ability to scale and grow and have a business that's in alignment, to have a business that allows you to build freedom inside of your life is much easier. And so the 4 that we're going to go through is first the harmony triangle, my 6-pillar framework, which my book has been built on, my ROI marketing and sales methodology, and then finally my 4-step success business model. Being able to bring these 4 things together is going to allow you to build momentum, but be able to feel aligned and feel like you're really in the driver's seat of your own car. I want to go through this first because this is something that almost nobody on earth is going to bring you through. And I believe that it's very incredible for how to build your business. Okay, so whenever we have a business, whenever we have anything in our life, we have 4 elements, 4 things that we're trying to orient around. Our ego, or really, our kind of our wounded self sometimes, our mind, right? Our heart, and our soul. Okay, and so what I'm going to attempt to do today is to help you build a business that has these oriented. Ego is, well, I want to go and I want to run all the launches. The heart just truly wants to serve somebody, to be able to help someone with what you've learned, with the service that you provide. The soul is really the alignment of the decisions and your path that is most fully aligned. And the mind is the ability to think and overthink and understand and look at problems and solve them. And if these are in alignment inside of your business, no matter if you're starting or if you're scaling, you're going to start seeing issues and problems in your business on a day-to-day basis. When we are building a business, we want to be as much here as we possibly can be in the middle of these, right? Because we do need ego. Without ego, we're not going to wake up in the morning and be like, you know what? I am going to wake up and I am going to do something that almost nobody does. I'm going to be the first entrepreneur in my family, or I'm going to do my first 6-figure year, right? The ability to have the imagination and the audacity to be able to turn the imaginary into the reality. So the ego is needed. Heart is also needed, right? If you're only just 100% about, well, let me go and do the big things, but you're not really thinking about your customers or the people that you're actually serving, you're not connected to the heart of your business, then your customers are going to feel that. People around you are going to feel that, and they're going to work with someone that has more heart in their business. if you don't listen to your soul, don't listen to your alignment, well, you can have a super successful business, but if it's outside of the path of your soul, of what you're here to be on the planet to do, then everything you do is going to be going uphill. You may make all the money, but it just doesn't feel right. And then finally, when it comes to the mind, if you're not engaging your mind, engaging your problem solving, the intellectual side of who you are on a week by week basis, then you're going to build a business that isn't profitable, that doesn't really work, that isn't built on being able to build something smart, and you're going to have to work far, far, far more. If we're too far in the ego, too far in the heart, too far in the soul, right? If we're on one side of these too much, if we're too far in the ego, we're not going to be able to actually help our customers, right? Because all we're trying to do is be able to grow and grow and grow and grow for the sake of growing, right? Not because we actually want to help people. If we're too far in the heart, well, what's going to end up happening is we don't want to do marketing or sales. We don't want to do the things of the business, right? Go and, create the funnels or, put the social media posts or whatever. We just want to wait for the person to come and arrive and we work with them. If we're too far in the soul, right? If we're too far in the soul, we can meditate on the mountain all we want, but we got to come back and work after we go and meditate on the mountain. Right? And if we're too in the mind, we're going to overanalyze and overthink everything instead of actually, again, being able to go and do what is in your mind and turn it into reality. So we want to, as I said, get as close to here as we can. So that brings us to the first of 4 frameworks that I want to share with you. And the very first one's actually incredibly simple to kind of think about and understand and see inside of your business. So energetically inside of your business, we have 3 core things that we need to be thinking about. First, we need to be thinking about you, the business, and your customers, okay? So here's what happens most of the time. We're so concerned on making the business successful that we put all of our energy into it. Okay, we create an energetic disalignment, I guess. We create an energetic container where we're just putting all of our energy. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to create profit, right? We're trying to create success through having this business. Okay. Now, on the opposite side of this, we also have our customers, right? We have our customers that we need to be helping, getting results for, right? Helping them transform themselves or whatever service that we have that we're helping them transform their business or their life or the relationship. And then we have you. And so being able to create synergy and an energetic alignment between these 3 things creates harmony. We have to always be thinking about ourselves, the business, and our customers, okay? And so generally, it's number 1 is the business, number 2 is customers, and number 3 is us. That's the wrong order. First, we need to be thinking about ourselves. Oh, we don't want that. We definitely don't want to do what I'm just erasing it. We always want to be taking care of ourselves, right? Self-care, being able to take care of ourselves, being able to take time for ourselves, being able to do things that we love and we enjoy, regardless if our business is having a good week, a bad week, a good month, or not a good month. We then, number 2, so number 1, is you. Number 2, our customers. And number 3 is the business. Because of course, if you are not you, if you're not taking care of you, if you're not being in a time and a place of abundance and taking care of yourself, if you're not actually taking care of your customers, getting them results, being able to be focused on what they're actually buying, right? So many people create a product and then they're like, well, that's fine. Well, does the product actually work, right? So being able to actually help your customers, a very, very, very large part of this energy map, this triangle. And then 3 is being able to make sure that we, of course, have profitability inside of our businesses, right? So in this order, we create the ability for us to flow energy into the business, into our customers, and for that energy to flow back to us so that we can keep this business going day after day, year after year, decade after decade. If you don't think about you in the business, you're going to burn out. If you don't think about your customers in the business, you're not going to have a very long business, right? You can only go so long by not actually helping your customers. And if you're not thinking about the business itself, you're not gonna have any profitability. You've got to remember that the profitability, right, what everybody wants inside of a business is the excess energy after everything else is taken care of, right? So everything inside of a business, it's all energy. It's all an energy flow. If you want more profitability, it is about optimizing your energy flow. If you want more profitability, you have to have more impact in your clients' lives. But in order for all of this to work, this all has to balance. And without balance, as I said, you either burn out, you don't have customers, or you're not gonna have profitability. Generally what we do, generally what this whole entrepreneurial culture is about, let's help customers, let's have profitability, and we completely forget ourselves. Well, the problem with that is you're gonna burn out and you won't have a business. You're going to sell it for nothing, or you're just going to give up, because from a body perspective, a business that's not aligned here is not going to be aligned for you as a human being, and it's certainly not going to be aligned to your soul like we talked about a few minutes ago. So that is the first real core methodology. But why must we build our business with these things in mind? And the truth is that if you build a business that is out of alignment, or that has too much ego, has too much mind, too much of something, if we have too much care of customers and not enough care of ourselves, if we have too much care on profitability, we make it almost impossible to have harmony in our lives and inside of our business. And I've spent a lot of time, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 7 years old, selling eggs. I had my first business that had $1 million when I was 16 years old. I've spent the majority of my life testing and understanding what works. Not just what works on paper, what works as a strategy, but what actually allows me to have a beautiful, wonderful life and allows for a business to be able to serve other people. And so when we build a business with this in mind, we're building in a conscious way. We're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. And I truly believe that you don't have to be successful, quote unquote, have a multi-million-dollar business to have harmony in your life. This is something that if you're consciously thinking about on a day-to-day basis, as you build your business, you're able to get harmony much faster in your life. You're able to feel better each and every day. You're able to have freedom more quickly than if you just hustle and try to make the money and then figure it out later. If it ever came in your mind to say the phrase, well, it'll all be better once I'm a millionaire, or it'll all be better once I have money, well, it starts today. Those changes start today, and that's what allows you to have success financially. This allows you to have success in your business much more quickly as you're building it. So, first methodology, the harmony triangle. That's what I went through. Without that, you're gonna build a business that's not in alignment. And if you build a business that's not in alignment, you're gonna make money that didn't come from alignment. And what I found is when money is made that's not in alignment, it is very difficult to keep that money. It's very difficult to invest that money. That money vanishes when something's not in alignment. But when it is, you can build empires with that money. And so that is the harmony triangle. The second thing that I want to talk to you about today, the second concept, which is based upon my book, The Nuclear Effect, is the 6 pillars of a business that you need to be consciously thinking. All right, so we just went from more of the soul work, more of the what makes sense, to now more of the mind. What are the 6 pillars and how do they relate to the business? How do they make the business easier to understand, easier to build, easier to manage? So that's what we're going to talk about next, is the 6 pillars of building a successful online business. They're into 3 separate sides, okay? And I almost think about it like a seesaw, okay? So a seesaw like this here, all right? Picture this in the middle. So we have marketing and sales, right? Marketing and sales. If you don't have marketing and sales, you don't have a business. Because marketing and sales is the ability to take someone that doesn't know who you are and turn them into a customer you are, so you can actually help them. All right? In between of this, we have our mindset and finance. We don't have our finances right, we're never going to be able to actually get profitability. We're always going to be trying to hit cash flow, and being able to be on the seesaw, it makes it so that if you don't have your finances down, you can't market properly, you can't sell the right way, you can't even deliver the way that you would want to. And along with that, our mindset, the way in which our mind actually works, our subconscious, the patterning that allows us to see the world the way that we see it. Right? The perception of what we see determines what we do. And so being able to form and evolve our mindset while we build our business is incredibly important because of this, because we got taught based on society, based on our parents, our friends, but we're trying to do something that none of those people are actually trying to do. And then finally, the last pillars are operations, team, and delivery, right? The ability to actually deliver the product, the transformation, the results that you're selling through the marketing and sales. And through these 6 pillars, we're able to look at, well, what do we need to improve in our business? What's the issues? What's the problems inside of our business? And through looking at the 6 pillars, we are able to solve the problems. Here's the thing. Problems for an entrepreneur are opportunities. And what we do in our business is constantly solve problems. And the bigger problem and the more problems that we solve, the more money we're able to make. But here's the only thing that I really want you to take right this moment, that I can give you, that you'll look back in 3 years and say, that just one moment changed my life. If you just take the 6 pillars, if you just take this and write it down on a piece of paper, and you go through these and you write down every single opportunity for growth, right? Well, others would call them problems. We're going to call them opportunities for growth. If you just do that every single month, and then you outline which ones you're going to go solve, each month, you're going to have an exponential increase in the growth and evolution of who you are as a human being, as well as your business. Why? Because we're able to change what we're consciously thinking about. Right? When we go through marketing, we're like, you know what? Right now, we need a marketing funnel. We need a social media strategy. When we're going through mindset, and we're like, you know what? I got some mindset stuff that I need to evolve, and right now this is coming up for me. We're looking at finances, and we don't have projections, and we don't understand lifetime value, and we don't understand these different types of things. The first time you do this, you're going to get, of course, overwhelmed. But doing it over and over and over again and being able to then prioritize what you're actually evolving and changing allows us so that your business and who you are as an entrepreneur gets better and better and better, because each month you get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And through the months and the years, you're able to build a business that over time you solve these issues, you solve these problems. And this is one of the main elements of scaling. If you're ready to scale and grow a business, what you're really saying is, I'm ready to solve the problems that are there for my customers. I'm ready to solve the problems of the business, and I'm ready to be able to grow as a human being. The second framework, to be able to actually understand and consciously, from your intellectual consciousness, understand what needs to change in both who you are as well as what the business is, so that we're able to really seize the opportunities that are in front of us and to be able to take our imagination and turn it into reality. The third methodology that I want to share is directly oriented around this. Marketing and sales, by far one of the most I'll say difficult to master elements of being able to be an entrepreneur. But once you're able to actually master it, once you're able to actually understand how to utilize marketing and sales, it allows you to have the money to be able to grow. It allows you to have the money to be able to manage your finances. It allows you to have the money to be able to actually really work on your mindset. Money is energy, and energy allows us to be able to create even more energy. And so marketing and sales is about being able to get attention, turning that attention into energy, and then having that energy turn into money. And so this is really the most important aspect of being able to build a business. Because if you're not able to turn a stranger into a customer, your ability to actually run a business and help others transform, help others with the service that you provide, it's going to be incredibly difficult, actually impossible. And so you're always going to be in this sort of hamster wheel, this up and down, this roller coaster ride, if you're not able to have marketing and sales that really works inside of your business. So that's the next part, which is, and it's called the ROI method, or the relevancy, omnipresence, intimacy, marketing, and sales methodology. And really it comes down to this. It comes down to the fact that in marketing, in all marketing, The first thing we need to do is be relevant, right? So relevancy comes down to allowing somebody to have that aha moment of, this is for me, this person is for me, this product's for me, this offer's for me. I believe that this makes sense for me, right? It's that aha moment. Omnipresence is the ability for someone to continually see you over and over and over again. And this creates a lot of behavioral things that occur, which one just very simple one is the more that we see something, the more that we are going to spend our energy and attention on it. And of course, wherever energy goes, money flows. And then finally, intimacy being the way of how to sell without being salesy, and having connection to your audience, being able to really have conversations with them and be able to actually allow them to be seen and heard. Instead of actually having to pitch somebody, we're able to ensure that this person sees us as being relevant, that they continually see us, and then when they're ready to be able to move forward with that transformation, being able to actually be there for them and never ever have to pitch them, but being able to give them the opportunity of the transformation of the service or whatever it is that you provide, making it feel effortless. Being able to, as I call it, skip the pitch. In a traditional sense, most marketing looks like this, okay? Most marketing, there's a person and then there's a sales page or a webinar or whatever it might be, and then it is, is it a good fit? And then of course it goes to being a percentage, a very small percentage, being able to actually buy, okay? So that's your traditional marketing and sales. This means you got to pitch. It takes a lot of money and costs a lot of money to be able to, of course, get those people in front of a sales page or a webinar or a lead magnet or a funnel or whatever it might be. So the ROI method looks a little bit more like this, okay? So you have a group of people, your audience. You're continually bringing them through ROI. You're continually allowing them to see your relevancy, to go from seeing the sidewalk, them being in the sidewalk, understanding what the problem and pain is, going right to them wanting to actually work with you with the solution, with the offer that you have, right? Being able to constantly be in front of them with omnipresence, with social media, email, being able to retarget them, those different types of things. And then finally, always being there when it comes to intimacy, building community, having conversations, being connected to the people that are there. So instead of just one opportunity, right? One opportunity to be able to go from taking a complete stranger and turning them into a customer, we're able to make it so that on an ongoing basis, day after day after day after day, we're bringing more and more and more and more people into your world, allowing more attention to flow towards you, and then allowing for more of those people to become customers over time. But what happens is that we lower your marketing costs. We increase your conversion rates. Your cell phone call conversion rates go sky high. Your landing page, everything works better, right? We create momentum. And instead of just talking and be in front of a few people, we're in front of far more people, far more opportunities, of course, come up. We create this waterfall effect, right? Because we have, I call it the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane, okay? And in any given time, about 60% of an audience is in the sidewalk. About 35% are in the slow lane, and about 5% are in the fast lane. So every single day, as you're posting content, emailing, doing new launches, whatever it might be, we have this waterfall effect of people coming down and eventually becoming customers. Not just now, not just the next 3 months, for years upon years, people are going to become customers. Because remember, not everything is about you marketing and changing someone's mind. It's allowing for their own alignment, right? To be able to be, you have to be aligned in your business and they have to be aligned in the transformation that they're ready for. And finally, it builds this consistency inside of business, right? It allows for that roller coaster to be more like a merry-go-round. It allows for the hamster wheel to just be more like a treadmill. And it allows for a much easier way to be able to build your business with this methodology. So I could also go into this for about 5 days. And there's a lot inside of this, right? But this is the way to be able to create consistency. Everyone wants consistency. I mean, as human beings, we want consistency and we want predictability. We want certainty. It's like one of the core human needs. And so, without going too far into this, when we help somebody build a business that can scale, this is one of the starting places, one of the key places we have to spend a lot of time and attention, because relevancy comes down to ensuring that you understand your avatar and messaging and positioning and unfair advantage and level of consciousness and 5 other things. Omnipresence comes down to knowing what platforms you're on and the frequency and timing, so that you aren't annoying and that you show up at the right time at the right place always. And intimacy comes down to being able to create community, allowing people to be seen and heard through your connection, and having conversation that leads to those people being able to actually want to work with you. Like, this stuff takes time, and it's not just let me go and do it over the weekend. This is stuff that you're going to continually work on and work through this month, 3 months from now, 5 years from now. This is stuff that I still work on myself, and I teach it. And through being able to implement this, though, you get continually better each and every day, 1% better a day at being able to attract people towards you and be able to turn those people into those in which you can actually serve, actually help transform their lives, their businesses, whatever it is that you help them with. The question is, well, how do you use this based on where you are? It doesn't matter if you're in the startup mode, you're in build mode, you're in scale mode, either of those or anywhere in between, right? The ROI methodology at the beginning makes it so that you can get your first customer, so that you can actually get some momentum, particularly with relevancy and intimacy. Later on down the road in the build format, being able to utilize relevancy in your funnels, being able to utilize it in your advertising with partnerships on your social media, being able to utilize intimacy so that if you hire a salesperson, you do it the right way, being able to utilize omnipresence as you get into scale, being able to spend more and more money. Well, we want to be able to spend money and be able to get high returns. We want high profit margins, right, as we actually scale. Right? This methodology allows us to be able to go from startup to scale over time more easily, being able to keep more profitability while also creating more momentum, creating more audience, creating more the ability to get the momentum in the marketing and sales, not having to pay so much money for ads, not having to pay so much money for a sales team. Every single element of your whole business changes. Like, even think about when you do your marketing and sales this way, you're gonna have less refunds. You're gonna have clients that actually get more results. This impacts your business in such a massive way in every single pillar. And this is really, in my opinion, the only way to go over the next 10 years as we build our online businesses, as we help humanity evolve in their consciousness, in their businesses, and everything in between. This way of being able to build it doesn't matter if you're starting out today, doesn't matter if you're making $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month today. This methodology has been proven to work with every single one over and over and over again.